Did you know that in just the past 5 years, global tariff changes have impacted over $1.2 trillion worth of goods? And it's not just governments and multinational corporations feeling the ripple effects. Small businesses, solo entrepreneurs, and fast-scaling startups are now navigating a regulatory minefield that changes faster than most can keep up with. Here's the scary part. Many companies don't even realize they're out of compliance until they're hit with fines, delayed shipments, or full-on supply chain shutdowns. And let's face it, most of us can't afford to hire an international law firm every time the rules change. So here's the question. How do you stay ahead of shifting tariff laws without burning your budget on legal fees? That's exactly what we're diving into today. We'll explore practical, proven strategies to help you stay compliant, agile, and legally protected without becoming a lawyer yourself. You'll learn how top businesses are outmaneuvering trade regulation chaos with smart systems, tech tools, and agile thinking. More importantly, you'll walk away with actionable steps to future-proof your operations. But first, let's take a step back. Why is this such a pressing issue now? What's driving this tidal wave of regulation? And why should you care? To answer that, we need to look at the bigger picture, the global trade ecosystem, and how it's evolved into one of the most complex and fast-moving sectors of the modern economy. Over the last 2 decades, the world has witnessed an unprecedented acceleration in global trade. From 2000 to 2024, international trade volume has more than tripled, fueled by digitization, e-commerce, and the relentless pursuit of cheaper supply chains. Platforms like Alibaba, Amazon Global Selling, and Shopify have made cross-border commerce more accessible than ever before. But with growth came complexity. As countries raced to protect domestic industries and control economic influence, tariff regulations became a primary weapon of trade policy. In 2018 alone, the US-China trade war triggered over 570 new tariff codes, many of which changed again within just 18 months. The result? An unpredictable regulatory landscape where even seasoned import-export managers struggle to keep up. Take the example of Apple. During the height of the US-China tariff war, Apple was forced to reconfigure its supply chain, moving production of AirPods and iPhones to countries like India and Vietnam. What seemed like a costly shift turned out to be a strategic win. It diversified risk, stabilized compliance, and even cut costs in the long run. This example underscores an important point. Businesses today must not only react to changes, but proactively build flexibility into their supply chains. Timing is crucial. If you're reacting after a tariff has been implemented, you're too late. Start planning now, diversifying your supplier base, tracking tariff changes regularly, and adopting modular supply chains that can pivot quickly will help you stay ahead. Here's the truth most consultants won't tell you. You don't need a 6-figure legal retainer to stay compliant. What you need is a well-built internal compliance system, one that's lean, tech-enabled, and adaptable. Take Patagonia, for example. This outdoor apparel company created a small internal compliance team that uses a mix of ERP tools, AI-driven tariff tracking software, and supplier self-certification protocols. The result? Near real-time alerts when any of their raw materials are impacted by new tariffs, and 0 missed filing deadlines. By leveraging technology, businesses can track tariff changes automatically, eliminating human error and ensuring swift responses. To build your own system, consider using automation tools like Avalara or Import Yeti, which allow you to monitor regulation changes and flag risks automatically. Standardizing documentation and training your team quarterly on regulatory updates will further strengthen your compliance framework. It's crucial to update trade documents regularly, as many compliance failures stem from outdated forms. While most businesses think of compliance as a burden, incorporating it into your standard operating procedures, SOPs, can actually streamline operations and make the process more efficient. By embedding compliance into every phase of your supply chain, from procurement to shipping, you'll ensure that you're not scrambling to catch up when new regulations are announced. The future of compliance lies in leveraging AI to track real-time changes and build systems that evolve with these regulations. Most businesses view compliance as a burden, but smart companies turn it into a strategic advantage. Take Tesla as a prime example. When faced with looming tariffs on lithium-ion batteries, they didn't just react. They moved to control upstream components by securing raw materials from alternative, tariff-free sources. This vertical integration allowed Tesla not only to remain compliant, but to lower costs and outpace competitors during a global battery shortage. This strategy shows that compliance doesn't have to be purely defensive. It can propel your business forward if you think of it as an opportunity for innovation and efficiency. Businesses should consider mapping their tariff exposure regularly to identify which products and suppliers are most at risk. It's also wise to pre-negotiate fallback contracts that include contingency pricing if a trade war or tariff shift occurs. In addition, some businesses use tariff engineering, adjusting their products or packaging to shift them into a lower duty category legally. Another effective strategy is joining trade alliances or industry associations, which often offer early access to policy updates and even provide collective bargaining power on tariff matters. It's essential to stay ahead of political cycles because major tariff shifts often occur around election times. By preparing for these shifts early, you can position your business to take advantage of any changes rather than be blindsided by them. Sustainability and environmental, social, and governance. ESG considerations are increasingly influencing trade policies, so aligning your supply chain with these evolving standards can offer both compliance advantages and positive PR. Tariff regulations aren't going away. They're becoming more complex, more frequent, and more punitive. But with the right systems, strategies, and mindset, you can turn this chaos into clarity and even into opportunity. Today, we've covered how the global trade landscape has evolved and why staying compliant is more crucial than ever. We've discussed how to build smart internal systems that keep you compliant without the need for expensive legal consultations. And we've explored how compliance can actually serve as a strategic tool to drive business growth. As trade policies continue to shift, the companies that will thrive aren't necessarily the ones with the biggest budgets, but the ones with the most adaptable and resilient strategies. To ensure you're one of those companies, start by auditing your current compliance systems and mapping your exposure to future tariff changes. The key is to think ahead and make compliance a proactive part of your overall strategy. You don't need a law degree, just the right playbook. If you found this video helpful, like, subscribe, and share it with someone whose business is impacted by global trade. Stay sharp, stay compliant, and I'll see you in the next